Hey folks, this is James Cook of the Crossville Gun Range. I'm going to show you just how quick I can bust a holster out for a pistol. Now most people think that my holsters are going to be one of those wait overnight things and you gotta give me your gun and a week later you might get a holster, but no, on a good day I can bust out 3, 4, even 5 holsters before you guys are even done shooting. Sometimes I gotta wrestle with the holster just to get the gun and the holster to like each other. Not too much though, because then you can't get your gun out of your holster. But just enough so that they'll detach when you need them to and they'll stay in there the whole time you need them to. Now typically folks would choose whatever holster that they want to go with, and I've chose this one because we have a plethora of them. Let's see. Okay. And so while I'm doing all the heat treating and pressing, I will need your gun, but heating up my holster takes about 1 minute and 30 seconds, sometimes more, sometimes less, and then we'll press the holster and play with the retention and whatnot, and then after that you'll have a holster for your gun. Now I like to remind folks that if there's ever a time when you need to get new attachments on your holster, say your belt clips break off, or alternatively some of those screws wiggle out of there, you can come back in and get all that stuff put back on there completely for free. And then in the event that you need your holster completely remolded to an entire new gun, or if you go and get a gun, so like this Glock doesn't have a lighter laser on the bottom, and if I want to get that, it won't fit in the holster I'm about to make for it. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to remold the holster and then make it fit that way. Most of our holsters are inside or outside the waistband. They're $40. With tax, you're looking at like 43 bucks. However, if you want to get it completely remolded, it will be 20 instead of 40. That holster looks just about done. Go in there for a little longer. Now this one, I'm going to be running a outside the waistband belt loops so that it's easier for me to get to instead of inside the waistband. Of course, with these style of holsters, the paddle type, I can do inside or outside the waistband. And we can even, if you have an inside the waistband holster you want to convert, or if you have an outside the waistband holster you want to convert, we can do the conversion on either one for free without need. Now, if you need to swap your holster out to right-handed instead of left-handed, I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be making mine right-handed. That we will have to remold the holster for that. But if you want to change where the holster sits, or if you want to change if it's inside, outside waistband, yeah, there we go. Then we can do that without having to worry. So next thing I got to do, I'm going to have to press the gun and get that holster molded to it, and then I'm going to put my my belt clips on there once I like the retention and it's good enough. And then we're ready to go. This part is the part that's probably takes the longest, and it's just so that in the event that that holster starts to wrestle with me and I can't quite figure out where the retention is sitting this way or that way, I have to wrestle with it and try to fix it. But I've gotten better at that, and I don't think that's going to be a problem this time. We'll see. Okay. Get my stuff laid out for me. check on that holster. Perfect. Does it fall out? No, it does not. Okay, so now what I gotta do is bend the sides to kind of contour it to my hips just a little bit, make it perfect fit. I like to remind folks while I'm making these holsters, this is a custom holster. If you want to change the angle on the gun a little bit, or if you want to change the bend on the holster and how it kind of fits to your person, we can do that. There's the only thing I can't really change on these holsters is how much or how little material that there is, and then what color it is. And of course, we can just get you a different holster for a different color. Now, heating up the wings of the holster is always an interesting endeavor because you never know what kind of retention it's going to change. I always have to keep an eye out as to what is actually being molded on this holster, because sometimes it will change the retention too much, other times too little. Okay. Let's see if I can do this in frame. Same thing on the other side. Yeah, I'd be better off that way if I did. Yeah. Okay, get that last wing taken care of, and then I gotta check its retention. Let's see how it's molding. Now, as far as these holsters go for outside the waistband or inside the waistband, for outside the waistband, you're looking at attachments like these. These are our belt clips, and the way that they work is what we will do, we will attach these to the back of your holster, and it will be fixed this way. You'll thread your belt down through there, and then it'll be fixed to your person. Now, if you want to take your holster off of your belt, you have two options. You can either cut your belt off, and I don't recommend that, or alternatively, you can take your belt off and then thread your holster out from it. Now, I know some folks who don't like that, having to wrestle with their holster over and over, trying to put it on, take it off, which is why if you do the inside of the waistband, you have belt clips, which will actually go in your waistband and they attach over your belt. I've even had some folks that'll do different things like gym shorts and whatnot, and they seem to hold great. So now what I gotta do is throw the clips onto the holster. And this part's probably the easiest part. All I really have to do is just put them on there, screw them in, and then I'm solid. Really, I don't need the gun for this part. So if you folks look at how long this video is going through, you'll notice this took me much less time than it would take for you to shoot at this range. And certainly it takes me much less time than other folks might take. I've heard horror stories of people coming in with their guns and they're like, oh, this person wanted me to go 4 days without my gun and they'd have to do the holster for me. I'm gonna tell them that's awful. That's absolutely terrible. Part of the reason why is because, well, right now, if I was a customer, what I could do is, well, I don't like how the retention sits this way, or, well, the angle on those wings aren't really what I'm looking for. I can change that right here, right now, and it doesn't take me very long. I don't have to completely restart the process or anything like that. We just go in, I get a little tiny spot hot, I move around some plastic, and then you tell me if you like it or not. The answer is yes. Let's see. And of course, if these screws start to come loose, most of our screws are actually attached via Phillips head, which means that if they start to wiggle around a little bit, that's nothing for you guys to go and put tighten those screws down a little bit. You're more than welcome to go and put stuff like a thread lock and whatnot. However, if you go and put thread lock on your holster and I can't get those screws undone, I can't swap out your belt clips. But either way, there's a complete holster. Now what we got to do is take it out to the range and make sure that I can get this gun out of that holster.